excited about our topic and our audience and our guests that we have with us tonight. So Galen University has a Lady Eagles team. We have our Lady Eagles on with us tonight. We have our coach on with us tonight as well. I'll do a quick introduction. We are going to be joined by Dr. Aline Harrison, who's a member of the La Ruta Maya Organizing Committee. She's an associate professor at Galen University in the Faculty of Education, and she is a Galen Eagle. So we want to welcome her. Welcome, Dr. Aline.
Thank you, Miss Diana.
Thank you. Glad that you're on with us. We also want to welcome Coach Bernie Tarr. Coach Tarr is the Director of Athletics at Galen University. He's the drive and the energy behind lots of our athletes. I want to welcome Bernie Tarr tonight.
Thank you, Deanna. Appreciate it.
Welcome, Coach Tarr. We also have with us the ladies of the evening, or Lady Eagles, we are so absolutely proud of. And we have with us, let me make sure Jayda Brown is on with us tonight. Jayda, welcome to tonight's show. We have Jasmin on with us as well. Jasmin, welcome to tonight's show. And Tina, welcome. So we're really very happy to have you on with us tonight. The Galen Hour is a production of Galen University. It focuses on academic excellence, sustainable development, and lifelong learning. We use this medium to focus on our Eagles and to talk about just how proud we are of how well our Eagles do. And tonight we're proud to be presenting to you our 3 Lady Eagles and our team for the La Ruta Maya Challenge. Our ladies will be paddling to break the bias, and this is an absolutely important topic given the fact that we are in Women's Month, but this is an important topic any time of the year. So welcome to tonight's episode of the Galen Hour. I'm Diana Gomez Perifeed, and it's always a pleasure to be here with you on Wednesday nights. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with the start of our show.
I'm Jayda Brown. I'm strong. I'm unstoppable. I am paddling for the rights of women and girls in Belize.
Hi, my name is Tina Herrera, and I'm paddling to end violence against women and children.
I'm Jasmin Armstrong, and we are paddling for all the women in Belize. We are paddling together to break the bias.
The Galen Eagle Podcast every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Catch us live on Galen University's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and select radio stations.
Welcome back to the Galen Hour. We will be joined a little later on, we're hoping, by a representative from the Ministry of Human Development, Mr. Aurelio Shaw. I know he was unable to make it on time for the 8 o'clock start, but we're hoping he's able to meet us. The Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs is a sponsor of our Lady Eagles team this year, and we're absolutely grateful for what they are allowing us to do and what we are representing by paddling in the La Ruta Maya Challenge this year. So, welcome back, and we want to get started. I know we're tonight, and I want to start by asking and posing our first question to Dr. Harrison, who's on with us tonight. And just to ask Dr. Harrison, who's a member of the Harrison family, who are the founders of the La Ruta Maya Challenge, to tell us a little bit of the history of the La Ruta Maya Challenge. Dr. Harrison?
Thank you, Miss Diana, and good night, Belize. Good night to all our Galen Eagles and to all those Belizeans home and abroad who are watching us, and even our visitors. La Ruta Maya started back in 1998 as an entrepreneurial. First started an entrepreneurial idea. My cousin Richard Harrison, who passed away 2 years ago, was looking for a way to launch his a water that a bottled water by the name of Vida. And prior to 1998, there was always a conversation of doing something for the 9th of March, what was traditionally known as Baron Bliss Day. Belize City, it used to be big regatta in Belize City, but we didn't do much out here in the West, and I think most of the country except for Belize City. And so the idea came up, particularly it was when he wanted to launch the water. And so that was really what helped to start out La Ruta Maya. La Ruta Maya Belize River Challenge, that was the name. And so for many years, it was run by just a committee, mainly members of my family, my brother Roberto. I must give credit to Roberto. He's been with the race since the first year. I joined like about 20 years ago. We are into our 25th year now. But when the race started out, if I may share this, Ms. Diana, that it wasn't just a race, and that's the slogan for it. It's not just a race. There's more to it than it was built on 3 pillars: culture, history, and environment. The cultural part of it and the historical part of it has to do with the Mayas using the river as a main waterway. The whole Kayo boats, it was a transportation from Belize City all the way, the history of logs being taken down the Belize River. So all that cultural, historical part, and of course the environmental aspect of it, bringing awareness to the environment, not just keeping our rivers clean. And so when we say it's not just a race, we have seen how that has grown to where now the Lady Eagles are paddling to break the bias. So it really, I don't think that when that slogan was chosen back in 1998, that it was even thought of how powerful it really is. It's more than just a race. Because yes, the paddling of the canoes is of course a part of it. It's a canoe race, but all the other things that are a part.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harrison. So it's absolutely important for us to understand how this river challenge came about. And many of us just know that we watch it every time around this time of the year, and we get all excited. But there's so much meaning and reason behind what we're doing: the cultural, the historical, the environmental. And this year we have an even bigger, just as important challenge added. The issue of woman empowerment and breaking the bias. So we're really very pleased to be on here tonight, and thank you for that. I want to bring in Coach Tarr. Coach, I know you did such a fantastic job of introducing our ladies. I introduced them just by their names and the fact that they're paddlers, but I don't think we'll be doing justice for the team of fantastic Lady Eagles that we have on tonight if we don't allow you to do your special introduction of them. Coach Tarr?
Thank you. Good night, Belize. When Dr. Harrison called me about, the ministry reaching out to us to put together a female team, we had already been kind of ahead of the curve as I reached out to, these 3 young ladies right here, Jayda Brown, Jasmin Armstrong, and Tina Herrera. And they were all willing and ready to roll and do this thing. And I joked earlier in the show today we did with Galen. Jayda has been harassing me since like 2018, like coming in my office with a little bit of a temper and would say, Coach, how come we don't have a female in the Ruta Maya? And And I was like, oh, we're just starting. We're going to get it. I'm just going off the top of my head. And, I know she's about to graduate from us. So this is one wish I wanted to try to give her. Because, as we know, these girls haven't put on a Galen uniform in over 2 years because of the COVID. And this would be a nice little, way to put that Galen jersey on and represent the university. So, we have Jayda Brown, like I said, Jasmin Armstrong, who's an alum. And she was very instrumental in the development of our female athletic program in every sport. She was our captain of our volleyball team. As the setter, she was the captain of our basketball team as my point guard / assistant coach. She was the captain of the football team as the goalie. She was the captain of the softball team as the catcher. All key leadership positions on any team. And she's also personally driven, as she's an elite power lifter, which takes great dedication and discipline. And then Tina Herrera, who came to Galen to play basketball, but COVID had other ideas. And, she, when I asked her to be part of this, she just wants to put that uniform on, and probably the most beautiful part of this whole story about these three young ladies, one, exceptional athletes, two, exceptional students. I think everybody's over a 3.4 GPA. And they're really goal driven. But more importantly to me is the family background they come from. And that's what really touched my heart when it was like almost a perfect puzzle, because it fits the mission, what, the ministry wants to send out. We have, Jayda, who's from Ontario. Mom and dad worked their tail off to supply for her what she needs. And I mean, if you're out at the Belmont Market every Tuesday and Friday, I mean, they're there from dawn to dusk. So if I ever need to find, if Jayda is not answering her phone for whatever reason, I know where to go find mom and dad and get the message sent home. Jayda has improved greatly with the phone thing, though, Jayda. So nice job. Appreciate it. And also, the thing that caught me with Jayda, she just did it just there, is her contagious smile. As an athlete, we have good days, bad days. And, Jayda's always going to come in with a smile on her face. And that's contagious to your team, that to me is a great thing. So, like I said, Jayda, 4:30, 5 in the morning in Ontario. If you're driving, you're going to see Jayda running the roads. She won several marathons, I know, during the pandemic. Part of the women's national football team. Just a great person. Jasmin, like I said, an alum, multi-sport athlete, former Belizean Female Athlete of the Year. Basically, every day in school, she'd come see me. We'd talk sports, talk about the team. What do we got to do to get better? Jasmin's situation, home life was different than Jayda's, where she was kind of raised by her whole family. Mom moved to the States at a young age, and, that happens. And she was raised by her whole family, basically. Grandma was there for her. And she was able to still maintain excellence athletically and academically. And like I said, that's my assistant coach right there. So just like head coach, assistant coach, we butt heads, but that's just the competitive nature that we have, and there's great love for each other, and she knows that, and I know she loves me, and we work together. So and then Tina, Tina has, like, in our story earlier today, Tina has over 100 brothers and sisters because she is from the King's Home. And I met Tina when she was 12 years old at the Belmont basketball camps. And the thing that came across to me with Tina was she listens with her eyes and ears. And, if you have 90-some campers, 3 basketballs, 2 hoops, I got like 2 assistant coaches, and you're trying to get order, Tina was always looking and listening, and that caught my attention. One, and then that she's a pretty good basketball player caught my attention too. So this is our team. They come from it. To me, it's a beautiful story because they come from such different. They've been raised differently in different things, but they've come out the same, and they can tell you more their story of what they believe in this mission that they're on, and so forth. But I'm so pleased and proud to be part of this team. They make me proud, and I want them to know that. I don't swim. Me and Jasmin joked about it. We swim. We got the same swimming style. We swim like rocks. We get in the water and we just go right to the bottom. But it's just been an awesome time. This is actually my first time with this event because the NEBL was always going on. So my commitment was kind of towards that. I would organize the other parts of it, but as far as being on the road down by the river and being there with them, I wasn't part of that. So I'm really excited for this, and I just look forward to watching these girls. The motivation they set with Galen earlier today with the students and faculty and staff, I think can touch a lot more people from the beginning of the race to the end of the race when they just know where these girls come from.
Indeed, Coach, thank you so much. We are so absolutely proud of our three ladies that we have on tonight, and I wanted you to share your version of their story. They will definitely get an opportunity to talk about why this race is important, how they have individually broken the bias or done, reached and overcome challenges. And so, but it was so important. So this is our team for this year. But before we go on and give the girls a chance to talk from their perspective, how important this challenge is and what it does for other women and young girls to see them doing what they're doing and what it represents, I want us to look back again to Galen's involvement in the La Ruta Maya Challenge. Because we're in the challenge this year, we're participating, but this is not our first time participating, and we've played several different roles. So I think I want to ask you, Dr. Harrison, if you could again help us with some of the history of Galen's involvement.
Thanks, Ms. Yana. Yes, Galen has. Yes, this is the first time we have a female team. So you guys are the first female team, but we've been participating for several years now. Was run just before the pandemic began. We had an all-male team, which was in 2020, and we had in 2019. We had been away for a few years, but Galen has been paddling all the way back to, I want to say, 2009, 2010. So it's been Galen has been involved. I recall also that Galen was involved in the environmental aspect, cleaning up the river banks. So we have been involved not just in the paddling aspect, but also in the environmental aspect of helping to clean the banks. And I'm hoping that in the next running of the race next year, that we can take an even more prominent role and go back to, looking at the three pillars, not just the paddling, but maybe doing something with the cultural, historical aspect, and of course the environmental aspect. We cannot forget that very, very important pillar that helps to develop the framework for the Ruta Maya.
Indeed, Dr. Harrison, very important. And I'm pleased that you said that, because from speaking to, and I must make mention of Mr. Owen Kenya here tonight. Owen is one of our main coaches He has been with Galen and with our Rutamaya participation for as many years as we've been involved. He goes on the waters, he helps with the cleanup. He was telling me today that indeed they part with us going along with the Coast Guard and going down the river and cleaning up behind the race and making sure that our waters are clean. But this is a festive time. The paddlers, the spectators, might, garbage might end up in our rivers. We need to make sure while we're enjoying this very important and enjoyable race that we're also taking care of our environment and our waterways. And so we're proud to know that Galen has been involved from that aspect as well. We know now that the BDF is also very important. So kudos to the BDF that ensures our safety on land and on the waters. This is such a huge race. I mean, if you don't really get engaged and find out the history and some of what it means and why it's happening and all the excitement of it all, you might actually be losing out more than you realize. So we're actually really pleased to be here tonight. So, I want to re-emphasize again tonight that we are being sponsored by the Ministry of Human Development. And that's important because this is part of their contribution to Women's Month and to the whole breaking the bias, fighting for the rights of women, ensuring that domestic violence, or one way of bringing domestic violence into the forefront and hopefully eradicating it. That's a big challenge we know in the world and in our country, but doing initiatives like this really makes a difference. And so we're so happy that we were an institution they were willing to put their money in. We are here and we're definitely going to do our best. Coach, Dr. Aline, do you want to give any last quick comments before we take a break? Because we do need to take a break in another minute or so.
Go ahead, Doc.
Just to remind Belize that while we're out there enjoying the race, that we should all be part of the cleanup. Don't throw your garbage. Hold on to your garbage, because that's what happens. People just, they congregate there with a group of friends, and when they leave their garbage behind. So pick up your garbage. Don't litter. Don't add to what is already there, because there are going to be teams that are picking up, but we don't want to add to that. We want to be able to have clean waters, clean and safe water.
Great. Okay, so, Coach, you want to say something quick?
I just want to say, John Waite's been a very instrumental part of our team also. None of these girls have been on the water. And we had to make a strategic decision, with me and Jasmin's swimming techniques not being so sound. And that first day of adventure on the water with all the girls in the canoe, we've decided to add John, in the boat because of his experience with the men's team in the past Galen team. And Jasmin's hand was the first one to go up saying, "I'm good, Coach. I'm good. I'll come help you guys with the service team." And he's been huge because as soon as he got to the end of the boat, man, smooth sailing, and he's been a really good leader with the other girls. So Jasmin will be our substitute if one of the other two girls,
Yes. Well, lovely. So on that note, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back, and you'll hear more from our Lady Eagles when we return to the Galen Hour.
Galen University offers a variety of quality academic programs. Visit our website at www.galen.edu.bz or give us a call at 615-3129 or 614-6415 for more information. Apply today and come soar with our Galen Eagles.
The COVID-19 vaccination helps us to protect the most vulnerable.
Our choice to get vaccinated affects others.
It is a moral responsibility and an act of love for the entire community.
My name is Dorian Barrow. I am the Dean of the Faculty of Education at Galen University.
My name is Melanie Usher Donaldchuk. I am the Administrative Assistant to the Office of the Provost at Galen University.
My name is Sherry Gibbs. I'm the Dean for the Faculty of Art, Science and Technology at Galen University.
My name is Dr. Eve Aird, and I am the Provost of Galen University.
I got vaccinated because of my family, my colleagues, and my students.
Because I trust the science, but because I also want to protect myself, my family, my colleagues, students, and the community so that we can get out of this pandemic and get back to our lives.
I did it for my Galen family, my family at home, and I did it for you, please.
I got vaccinated for my husband, for my children, for my grandsons. I got vaccinated for Galen University, for my colleagues, for my students. I got vaccinated for Belize, for you.
Get vaxxed.
Wear your mask.
Wash your hands.
And watch your distance.
Welcome back to the Galen Hour. We're interviewing tonight with our Lady Eagles team. We have the 3 Lady Eagles who will be paddling to break the bias. On with us tonight, we have Dr. Aline Harrison and we have Coach Bernie Tarr. It has been quite an interesting discussion. On this segment, we want to focus on our Eagles and have them tell us about this particular challenge, what it means to them, what their experience has been so far, and what their motivation is and what they believe this does for women and girls in Belize. So if I could start with you, Jasmin, can you tell us what has motivated you to get involved in this challenge?
Hi, good night. Well, basically the 3 of us, for as long as I've known Jayda and Tina, we're everything sports. So when Coach called me up and asked me about it, I didn't hesitate. We were actually not in the country at the time, but me and Jayda both agreed that, it was time for us to do something different, to do something more. And that first day of paddling, when we came back from El Salvador, I told Coach that we had our first time in the canoe, and we had a crash at the board bridge. And I was talking to Coach about it, and I explained to him how much it meant to me and what it signified being a female. And, the amount of people that were behind us when they heard that we were going to paddle, and they knew what it takes to, go the extra mile. And I told him that the river itself signifies so much to me and what I've been through and the decisions I've made. My family have been behind me about the things that I've decided to do as a female athlete. I've done some crazy things between powerlifting and soccer and being at school and the gym. My life's been pretty full, and the river just reminded me that, the water flows and you get in the boat and you paddle. That's all you can do. If you don't paddle, you crash. But what's important is that, you get up back, or you get back in the boat and you keep traveling, because the river is going to flow whether you want it to or not. And that's the important thing for us to remember as females, that we have to continue to live no matter what the external factors are saying, especially as female athletes. We just got to continue paddling because the end is sweet. And I keep telling Jayda and Tina that every day.
That is very powerful, Jasmin. Thank you so much for that. There's so much meaning in what you just said, quite an inspiration. And I'm hoping that we have young women listening, and even women. It's so really good to hear how you view life and how you know that you continue paddling. Even if you crash, you continue paddling. Thank you, Jasmin. Tina, if you'd answer the same question, what motivated you to take on this challenge?
Yes, I think it's more like an something personal. Like I want to see how far I can go with myself, as to force myself to do excellent, and to see how far I can go and to test the limits, and to keep pushing, to know that I can do something, even though it is a long race. But I keep telling myself that it is possible, and I just have to keep pushing, work hard, and have a high and strong mindset to finish the race. So
Thank
that's
you,
what I'm
Tina.
gonna. Yes.
Yes. So you keep pushing. So some really good, strong encouragement coming out of you, ladies. I am so proud of you. We all should be proud of you. You really are representing the whole break the bias and what women empowerment is all about. And Jayda, what was your motivation?
Hi, good night. For me, I've always wanted to paddle since I was 5 years old. I remember my school, Ontario Christian School here in Ontario, used to, and I think they still take the kids to watch the race. And I was always inspired when I used to see female paddling, and I used to tell myself that one day that would be me and that I am capable of paddling. And when I was in high school, I wanted to paddle. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Uh, when I was at UB, we had started, but there were difficulties, unfortunately. But I think that um, a perfect time came, and now I'm paddling for Galen. And just the message behind it for me is extremely important. And knowing that I could inspire female, it's extremely huge for me. So I want to be that voice for them. So paddling uh, this year with the message behind it, breaking the bias, is extremely important, and it motivates me each day.
Uh, Thank you, Jayda, and it motivates all of us on here tonight and listening. So you ladies have to know that you're so absolutely inspirational, and you are a perfect fit for what we're doing here this weekend. And Galen, the whole entire Galen family is behind you. Having said why and what motivated you, tell us a little bit about your experience so far. I know you all had your first boat ride on your crash, right? Jasmin, but I'm sure there has been more to the experience so far. We kind of started a little bit late, but the whole challenge kind of came up upon us, and I think everybody is in the same boat in terms of trying to play catch up. But tell us from your experience so far, how has this experience been up to this point, leading up to a start of the race right here this weekend? Jasmin, you want to start us off?
For the time that I've been in the boat, I guess the girls can tell you more about their long journey more down the river, but I have never paddled in my life. Like Coach has said, I just love to take on new things. And I was telling Coach earlier that my mom told me she was tired of me because I stress her out with the things that I want to do. But like Coach said, John has played an instrumental role with us. And of course, he's instrumental in all of this because of the message that we want to put out. And the first day that I got in the boat, I was fearful, and Jayda was there, Tina was there, and they were the ones behind me. And even though I feel that it's best the way it is now, I don't regret the moments that I've spent on the water with the girls, because it taught me a lot about the mentality and the drive that you have to have. It's one thing to have it on the field and on land and in sports, but when you have to face your biggest fear is when there are things that you learn that life itself cannot teach you. It has to happen in the moment, and I think that's what's so special about it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jasmin. Jayda?
For me, the experience has been surreal. I find my new place where I could meditate. Belize is, I can't explain. It's beautiful, and I think that you would have to experience it yourself to know what I'm talking about. Just being able to see the different type of wildlife, it's breathtaking. So for me, the experience has been extremely, extremely amazing, and I know from this point on, I will be paddling again.
Beautiful. So your 5-year-old dream is coming true, has come true.
Yes, ma'am.
Almost there. Good. So happy for you, Jayda. Tina, what has your experience been so far?
Well, it's been pretty good. It's a long race. We we did our practices, and it's definitely a long race. And you just have to be focused and determined, and need to have a strong mind, of course. And the wildlife, like Jayda said, we see a lot of different birds, variety of birds, trees, plants, some animals. We saw some monkeys. It was so nice, and the fresh air, parts of Belize that most Belizeans don't really get to see because they don't paddle or go out in the nature like what we have done. So I think it's very beautiful. Like Jayda said, it's a great spot to meditate. You get your fresh air, and it's definitely a real experience. You feel everything on the boat. It's a team playing sport, and everybody needs to be focused and there to help inspire the other person to keep pushing and to motivate each other to keep going. But it's nice, and I'm looking forward to beginning the race.
Wonderful. So I've heard the good aspects of it in terms of how relaxing it is. You're facing your fair. I mean, but has there been any point along your practicing and leading up to the actual weekend where you thought, like, my God, what did I get myself into? Was there any of that kind of moments for you?
I personally, I never found myself that I would paddle because I am not a well, I can swim, but I'm kind of scared of the larger animals like crocodiles. But I was completely fearful. I was fearful, but now since I've been practicing on the river and I've become fearless now, so that's incredible. And yes, I really enjoy paddling on the boat. I completely lost. I'm fearless now, so that's a good thing.
Lovely. Yeah, so you've overcome a fear of the water and being on the river. Jayda, for you, was there any such moment?
For me, not really. I guess I just love taking on the challenge. I guess kind of not knowing the river because we live in different areas, so we're passing through different villages, so not being aware of how the river operates, that's kind of a challenge for us. But apart from that, it has been great.
Wonderful. Jasmin, do you want to add at this point? I know you've mentioned the aspect, but so go ahead. Coach is saying yes, so I
I think at this moment I've had that figured out probably after the first or second day or a couple of days after that. But as Tina said, even paddling I've realized is a team sport, and I'm a part of the team, and my job is to think about what we're doing and the decisions we're making and how it affects everyone. And I know the girls are excited, and I'm okay with the decision that was made. And I know that for it to turn out successful, I need to be that motivation for my team. And it's all about being a team player and being in the moment. And I know that even from where I am capable of maybe even affecting the life of one woman or one girl, and that's enough for me, knowing that I'm able to do that because of the position that I'm in. So that's all that's important at this point.
Jasmin, you're such an inspiration. I mean, you're the quintessential athlete. Your approach is just fantastic. It's so, I mean, it's just lifts your spirit, just the way you say, and all three of you. But I thank you for being willing to step back and being real about the situation for the best interest of your team. And you're still part of the team, but you do. So we're happy for that. Dr. Aline, you have seen many teams come and go. You've seen mixed teams, full male, full female, all different categories, paddle the waters and the rivers. You've heard our Lady Eagles. You're familiar with Galen University and just how fantastic our family of Eagles are. What do you think? What do you think of our team going into this weekend's La Ruta Maya Challenge?
They certainly have a good chance at the intramural, which is one of the categories. We have male, female, we have mixed intramural for educational institutions. whether high school or tertiary. There is the old masters. There's a family category as well, and a pleasure category. And we get paddlers from all different walks of life, all ages. We've had very young. I think one of our youngest was, I want to say 9 or 10 years old. So we have had paddlers, my memory serves me right, about 65 years. So we have a range of ages in terms of paddling. And so I know that our team has a very good chance at the intramural category.
Yay! So we will definitely be on the River Valley trek. Our provost made sure that we have a ride going through the River Valley on Sunday. So ladies, we'll be looking out. Of course, we'll be listening along the way as well. This is actually very exciting for us. We invite all of our Eagle family, current students, past students, families of our students or faculty, to make sure they come out, they watch, they cheer on our Lady Eagles. And I know for sure the Ministry of Human Development has a team that will be going down as well. So you can look out for them. I want to ask you another question though. I think it's so important. What do you believe you will get out of this challenge? So I know you've spoken to how you felt, a lot what this means, but to some degree, what at the end of this race, what will you be able to say that you have achieved from participating? Jayda, you want to go first?
That's a good question. For me, what I think that I'm going to be getting out of this challenge is that I'm being able to realize that once I set my mind to something, that I am capable of accomplishing it. And I know during the period of accomplishing what I want, it's going to be painful, but at the end of the day, the result is rewarding. Also, during this race, I'm training my mind. I'm training my mind not to quit. I'm training myself to know that when my body says that I'm tired, that I still have 40% more to go.
Wow. Fantastic. Jasmin?
I guess what's important to me is to use my peers and my teammates and my girls to continue just to show females of this country and women of this country that we are capable, and that even if we're not in the moment, we can make an impact in somebody's life, even in the background. I mean, there are people in the light and there are people behind the scenes controlling that light. And I believe that this weekend I will be one of those people in the background controlling that light and helping that light to move where it needs to go. So my job basically right now is just being behind my teammates, rallying them on, and do what I need to do to motivate as much people as I can along the way.
Lovely. Indeed. And Tina?
Yes, knowing that it's a super long race and it's 4 days, I am definitely going to feel happy. Um, I would feel happy. I would feel very accomplished. I would be proud of myself because I'm not only doing it for me, but I'm doing it for every other girl or woman that is watching. So it's great to see I can be an inspiration to other people and to prove to myself that I am capable of going to the extra level of my success. So I am definitely happy for this race, and yes.
Thank you all. So we'll take a quick break. I'm watching the time, and when we come back, we'll give you all an opportunity to give some last words and to speak if you want, still particular to how the paddling in this challenge helps other women and girls. So we'll be right back.
Galen University offers a variety of quality academic programs. Visit our website at www.galen.edu.bz or give us a call at 615-3129 or 614-6415 for more information. Apply today and come soar with our Galen Eagles.
The COVID-19 vaccination helps us to protect the most vulnerable.
Our choice to get vaccinated affects others.
It is a moral responsibility and an act of love for the entire community.
My name is Dorian Barrow. I am the Dean of the Faculty of Education at Galen University.
My name is Melanie Usher Danilchek. I am the Administrative Assistant to the Office of the Provost at Galen University.
My name is Sherry Gibbs. I'm the Dean for the Faculty of Art, Science and Technology at Galen University.
My name is Dr. Eve Aird and I am the Provost of Galen University.
I got vaccinated because of my family, my colleagues, and my students.
Because I trust the science, but because I also want to protect myself, my family, my colleagues, students, and the community so that we can get out of this pandemic and get back to our lives.
I did it for my Galen family, my family at home, and I did it for you, please.
I got vaccinated for my husband, for my children, for my grandsons. I got vaccinated for Galen University, for my colleagues, for my students. I got vaccinated for Belize, for you.
Get vaxxed.
Wear your mask.
Wash your hands and watch your distance.
I'm Jayda Brown. I'm strong. I'm unstoppable. I am paddling for the rights of women and girls in Belize.
Hi, my name is Tina Herrera, and I'm paddling to end violence against women and children.
I'm Jasmin Armstrong, and we are paddling for all the women in Belize.
We are paddling together to break the bias.
Welcome back to the Galen Hour. We're in our final segment of the Galen Hour, and we have a few minutes to ask our Lady Eagles, Dr. Harrison and Coach Tarr, to give us their last words. If you were listening tonight, you should have been inspired. Our Lady Eagles are absolutely fantastic. The story they tell, the meaning behind what they're doing, what they're gaining from this is also inspirational, and it's definitely empowering. It is certainly right in tune with breaking the bias. We're so very pleased to have them with us tonight and to be able to say that they are part of Galen University and that we are participating in the La Ruta Maya Challenge. So I want to I want to start with our ladies. Any of you would like to give last words and possibly speak to how you see what you're doing here being a way of empowering and helping other women and girls to break the bias. Go ahead, Jasmin.
I just wanna go ahead and say one short thing, and that is, I really want the women of this country, females, girls, to realize that there is nothing that we can't do. For me, there is nothing that a man can't do that I can't do. The only difference is that I do it on a level of my own. And it's all about self-discipline and respect and the boundaries that you set for yourself. If you tell yourself that you cannot do something, it won't happen. And just as my teammate said, Jayda mentioned that it's a mental thing, and it's not only in paddling, but in life itself. Sometimes it comes to how much drive you have and how bad you want to finish. There are moments when your body is going to tell you you can't, and it becomes mental at that point. And if you give in to it, then you're not really pushing the limits to break your barriers, just as we are trying to break the bias. So it's very essential that we remember to push beyond our limits, and that's the only way we're going to break walls that we didn't know we could have. So ladies and girls and just females of this nation, just keep pushing for what you believe in and what you want. Don't allow anybody to tell you that you can't reach the sky. you can't reach a limit that you want to, because everything is possible with a little bit of drive.
Thank you so much, Jasmin. Jayda?
I just want to say, ladies, young girls, we are paddling and we are representing each and every one of you guys. By us paddling, we are showing you guys that you are capable of doing whatever you set your mind to. And by us paddling, that we are showing you guys that you can go there and accomplish anything that you want. And by putting yourself out there, you guys are changing the tendency of this preference of only one gender. You guys are also going to be breaking this unconscious bias whereby there is an attribute of certain attitudes and stereotype towards female. Also just bear in mind that we're not putting down men and boys to elevate the status of women.
Very important message, Jayda. Thank you for bringing that up. By elevating women, we're not trampling or putting down men. So thank you for that. And Tina, your last words?
Yes, I just have some words of encouragement that kept me going. Despite all the negative that people would say, even degrading yourself, you should just keep pushing, keep working for excellence, keep improving on yourself, and just let go the negative and just keep looking forward and until you reach success, and that's how you are going to get through in this life. So yes, that's what I have to share.
Wonderful. Keep it. Dr. Harrison, your last words?
Yeah, I just want to say to the ladies on this team that you are a motivation, because we don't have many female paddlers, and so my hope is that other women, other girls will get motivated will get some inspiration from your participation in this year's race, because we really, when you think of it, we think of canoeing as a male sport, when it's male or female, doesn't have age, and gender should not be a barrier to it. And then to end off on my comments, Ms. Diana, just in terms of the COVID protocols, maintaining the social distance, keeping within your bubble, sanitizing, and where, even though the mask mandate for outside has been lifted, if you don't feel comfortable, then wear your mask. Wear your mask and honor that somebody is wearing a mask. So I just wanted to bring up those, because some people might feel, well, I don't want to wear a mask. If you're not comfortable, my suggestion is wear your mask. You are protecting yourself and others that might be vulnerable. And of course, don't litter.
Yes. Very important messages indeed, Dr. Harrison. And I think everybody is just so happy that we've been freed up, that people might just forget that we still need to take precaution. We need to protect ourselves. So I'm glad you brought that up. And of course, the environment. Coach Tarr, we're almost out of time, but we cannot end this show without allowing Coach to get his last words in. Coach, this has been Coach's dream from the beginning of the year and before, asking if we'd have a team, or we finally found a way to have a team. So we're grateful to the Ministry of Human Development, grateful to Dr. Harrison for being part of the push. And Coach, you are so instrumental along with Mr. Owen. Your final words.
Yes. Well, I want to thank Cal Petch also, because, they're part of our sponsorship. We'll get a nice good night's sleep that Thursday night. But most importantly, to all the parents out there, moms, dads, that if they have a daughter, even a son, I think we're looking at some really, really great role models for, young people to look up to say, I want to be like them. And, for all Belize, when you see the harpy coming down the water, give us that cheer. I'm getting goosebumps or cold seed, whatever we call them, but give them that cheer of appreciation and love and, drive and like Jasmin Armstrong knows in the weight room, one more. And like Tina hears from Jayda in the canoe, one more. I'm excited for this and thank you, Mr. Owen. He's my sidekick. Without him, this thing wouldn't be happening either because he knows the river and he knows this race. Dr. Harrison, thank you. Ladies, it's time to roll.
It's time to paddle. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Jasmin, Jayda, Tina. Thank you, Dr. Harrison, and all the best to you and your family on this wonderful challenge. I don't know if Richard would ever have imagined that this is where we would be today, but he definitely left us a fantastic legacy. And we're really happy that the race continues. Galen is participating. We are participating with a purpose. And this is Women's Month. So to our viewing audience, to all women and girls out there and men, please, you can all do your role in ensuring that women are empowered. There's so many different ways that we can do this, from the smallest way to ensure you help a child to go to school, make sure your female family members have their hygiene products that they need. We can all do the little things in our lives and our spaces to push, to encourage, to ensure that our ladies are breaking the bias and reaching for the best that they can be. Thank you for joining us tonight. This was a fantastic show, quite inspirational, a show that should be seen by all young women. And we are pleased that Galen University has such wonderful representatives and such fantastic paddling eagles. It's always a pleasure. The Galen Hour is a production of Galen University. It focuses on academic excellence, sustainable development, and lifelong learning. All the best to all of the teams that are joining the race this weekend. We will be on the shores cheering you on. Good night, Belize, and all the best for a safe and successful La Ruta Maya Challenge. Have a good night.
On the lovely